I'm Marie Cribben. I'm in Washington, D.C. I've been a sobriety and recovery coach for going on 6 years now. I have a t-shirt that says, "I got sober online." I found a recovery community when I really needed to find a recovery community. I tell people all the time when I'm introducing myself as a coach that when I was 5 years old, being a recovery coach is not what I wanted to be when I grew up. I wanted to be a combination of like Carol Burnett, Julia Child, and Sister Joseph Martin, my first grade teacher. That was my ideal woman when I was growing up. There was a quiet internal knowing that drinking was not aligned with the way that I wanted to live my life. And so I drank in the gray, and in comparing my drinking to other people, it looked a lot like the way that my friends and my family were drinking. But it was through my connection through hip sobriety and doing that online school that sobriety became my way of life, and thank God for it. I thought that sitting in a basement of a church in an AA meeting was going to be the only way that I could do sobriety. And I'll be really, really candid here. I was working for the Catholic Church at the time. I was a youth minister. And I was like, as a Catholic in Washington, D.C., I would have known everybody in the room. There would have been no anonymity in a church basement if I had walked in. And so it just didn't feel aligned with what I wanted to do. Didn't feel like an option for me. And really what coaching is helping other people find the wisdom within themselves and offering a shift in perspective that they're in their own sovereignty. Showing up is the work. Being aware is the work. Taking the slow, tiny step is the work. I want freedom and liberation for your life. I'm really good at giving people space to show up authentically. I'm really, really good at letting people use coaching as a soft place to land. One of my favorite things to talk about with clients is how to navigate social situations. And my favorite way to look at it is like a rainbow, like a whole arc. And so you have the lead up, you have the apex, the top of the rainbow or the arc, and then the other side of it coming down. And so helping people understand that arc is, how are you taking care of yourself leading up to the event? Like, what are your foundational practices for nervous system regulation? What are your foundational practices of support? Do you have people that you can check in with, right? How are you creating a plan? Looking at the apex, the event itself, what's your toolkit for the day of? Like, what are you going to do? Do you have an exit strategy? Let me tell you, nothing good happens after the cake is cut. Do you have a plan to leave, right? What time are you leaving the wedding reception so you can leave sober and feeling good about yourself? What's your reward? We are built-in reward system people. What's your reward for getting through that event sober? Do you have something wonderful waiting for you back at the hotel or back at home? A movie you've been excited to watch, your favorite treat, whatever it is. And then the arc of the other side is, how do you care for yourself in the day, 2 days, 3 days after that event? How do you replenish your energy? How do you really nurture yourself? How do you process the event that you just went through sober? So thinking of it as a whole arc and just really working with people, some worksheets and stuff like that, but mostly talking it through and making sure that every aspect of that is thought about. One of my favorite things to coach on. Hey, I didn't drink the last 2 nights, right? And just seeing that just like grow over time and come from just, again, willingness to accept that one different thing could be the key to everything being different. There's a lot of turmoil that can come up. And so I would say that the biggest change is, watching these people, like I just said, like learn how to pour the energy back into themselves first, and how that really, really changes relationships when you do that, when you give yourself the gift of true presence in a relationship and authenticity in a relationship. It's really, really life-changing. Sobriety is an act of political action and social justice, and it is about liberation. And so we cannot do the work of showing up politically. We cannot do the work of showing up for equality and justice unless we are taking care of ourselves. And so Self-care gets a really bad rap as being a really selfish and overindulgent thing, but this is we're talking about systemic change here. When somebody first reaches out to work with me, what they're going to get first is an email of me gushing about what a badass they are for reaching out in the first place. I'm really approachable. And I hope this gives people a taste of that. I really believe one of my taglines is, talking about recovery with humor and heart. Yes, this is the serious work of saving our lives. Absolutely, it is. It doesn't mean that we have to be stoic and so serious all the time. This can be a real adventure.